Now, we've been singing the praises of Classic and Hero quite a bit, as they are the top two Protosses in Korea, but Creator isn't too far behind them. Unfortunately, he hasn't had as much success recently. He's been struggling a little bit more in a lot of these matchups, and as a result, Classic has been able to overcome him in certain ways. But we'll see how he does here in this next qualifying match. Spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing Mystery Gaming. It is RagnaroK. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss representing Team Abydos. It is Creator. Oh, and you love to see it. So this is an opener that has been making the rounds in Korea. This is a 14 hatchery opener. So before this, a month ago, it was the 15 hatch. The 15 hatch was making the rounds and was really popular amongst a lot of the foreigners out there, and even amongst some of the Koreans. But since then, players have been experimenting, and from the ashes of the 15 hatch opener is the 14 hatch. It gets here just in time to make sure that there's no pylon block from this probe, and RagnaroK is able to expand on location. Yeah, really cool to see. Oh. Eventually, I'll stop bringing this up, but it is really cool to see that despite how old this game is, like there's still like these little meta shifts that are occurring here, especially even in the early game of PvZ, for example, where for many years, basically almost the start of the COVID era of StarCraft, like 2020, Zerg players, they just haven't been allowed to expand against Protoss. They just haven't been allowed to take their natural bases. And then Eric shifted that up recently at the start of the year with the 15 hatch opener, and that kind of rose in popularity, and now players are playing around with the 14 hatch instead. And now it is legal. Now it's allowed for Zerg players to expand where they need to. It's crazy. It's crazy. Imba. But yeah, it's really cool. It's like a little like minute change, but it's like a pretty big deal, all things considered. Like considering how like meta PvZ has been for so long, and how common it's been for Zerg players to just be forced to take the unnatural natural instead. It's nice. What GSL is this? Season 2, or the current season of GSL. Current season. For those wondering, the season of GSL will be beginning in a couple of days. So we wanted to squeeze in the replay, the qualifier cast, as best we can, as quickly as we could. And for the openers, everything's looking quite normal here. Gonna be looking, I say looking quite normal. This shouldn't be a standard PvZ. Both of these players are very unique in their own playstyles. Creator, he is one to go his own way. Very rarely does he go for a Stargate opener into Blink Stalkers. It's very meta, of course, but Creator usually goes his own way, so I'm very curious. And there it is. Oh my god, it's not just going to be a Stargate opener. We have a double Stargate opener. Sky Toss is upon us. This is a very rare build nowadays. Again, very off meta. Likewise, this is a 3-minute 20 lair. This is looking like a Nidus all-in. Or it could just be two base Muta. We'll see if the 4th base is taken. With 3 gases, this is too much for a Nidus, so we have something else in store for us for RagnaroK. Regardless, a very fast lair is on the way. Chaos all around. Let's go. This is gonna get really weird. If this fast lair gets scouted, then Creator, if he sees a Spire, if it is going to be a Spire, I should say, he can get into double Phoenix production really early on. Speaking of, Phoenixes are on the way for Creator. Meanwhile, RagnaroK, what do you have in store for us? What is the plan here with all this gas? 3rd base is being taken. If this was Miyamika, I would say this is for a fast Hydroden. But because it's not, it shouldn't. As the Lings do dive on in, the Adepts do get quite a bit of damage done here. 4 workers do go down. And we're pulling a Miyamika. It is going to be very fast Hydras. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, Creator saw that. That was a little bit mistimed, but Creator did see the Hydroden as it was thrown down, Did he click on it? He had like half a second to click on it, so I don't know if he saw it in time or if he was able to recognize what exactly it was. And this is a pretty damn good start for RagnaroK. Like, Ling Hydra shuts down Mass Phoenix so hard. As long as we get a high enough Hydra count, to be fair. If the Hydras, if we're not at critical mass, then the Phoenixes can dance with them. They can go toe-to-toe, and they can cripple them. But this is just such a really weird turn of events. Let's go, Bobby. Let's go. As the Phoenixes do move out, they have been spotted and confirmed by RagnaroK. He's fully aware of what's going on. And there are no spores, so drones are going to be going down left and right. The Phoenixes are also going to be confirming what the building was, and we have confirmation. We do get eyes on that hydrogen. As soon as it gets spotted, we get a robo. Creator needs splash damage. If he doesn't get splash damage, then RagnaroK can hit a timing where he's able to kill Creator before he really has anything. Oh, one Hydra goes down. A second Hydra as well. For only a bit of hold damage. Again, it's so important for Creator to just slow down that Hydra count to pick off whatever he can while he can. He's being so active with these Phoenixes. Another Hydra goes down. Another two even. And yeah, this is really slowing down RagnaroK. It's really crippling him, to be honest. And that Hydra timing that we were talking about, it's kind of coming, it's passing us by. We have a Nidus. All right, we're going all in, Papi. We're going all in. We're not saturating the third base at all. RagnaroK is looking to end the game before we can get splash damage. The Bay is on the way. Again, if Creator even gets one Colossus, the game ends. Like, there's no way for Creator to die. But before that Bay finishes, before the Colossus comes out, he's pretty vulnerable. Here we go. Nidus is seconds away from finishing. Now, we don't have high ground vision because the Overlords have been sniped, so we can't Nidus into the main, but we can Nidus right outside the natural. Alright, how many Hydras do we have? We have 12. We have 11. 11. Is 11 Hydras enough? We're about to finish 7, so 18 in total. There we go. Nidus is on the way. The Bay is now done, but again, we need time for the Colossus. And I think RagnaroK may have just started. It's still close. It's still close. The Colossus is in production. We have shield batteries at the third base. We have one shield battery here at the natural. Force fields are going to be cutting up this army. Slow lots are running on forward, doing whatever they can. The Phoenixes arrive, and yeah, there's not enough Hydras. Hydras are going down one after the other. The Queens do pop out just in time to transfuse. But RagnaroK is running out of steam. And Creator, he was able to pull back home in time. He was able to shave off the Hydra count as well. That was, honestly, I think that was so important for Creator to just pick off, what, like 10 Hydras in total, one after the other, over time. And with the arrival of this Colossi, yeah, we'll see if RagnaroK can somehow pull off a miracle. Second Colossus is on the way. Lings are flooding on out. But again, Ling Hydra is not ideal against Colossi at all. Yeah, it looks like the Phoenixes are even coming to play as well, picking up whatever they can. Colossus was almost focused down. But we have more than enough Protoss. We have more than enough. GG gets called. Creator will take game number 1. The hell did we just watch? GG. We had double Stargate Phoenix going up against a 2-base Hydra all-in. Let's go. Oh god. That's why I love these players. That's why I love both Creator and RagnaroK. They're both very out of the norm. They don't play standard. They typically avoid playing standard as often as they can. It's not like they can't. It's not like they can't be standard, but more often than not, it's like they just go their own way. They walk their own path, you know? It's great. It's refreshing. It's refreshing. Here we go. We're diving into game number 2. Ugh. Here we go. We are diving into game 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gress Farm. We have the South Korean Zurich player representing Mystery Gaming down in this series, but not out. It is RagnaroK. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player representing Team Abydos. It is Creator. It's more fun to watch non-standard play. For sure. Like, there's a place for both, right? Like, I think we can appreciate like how crisp and how clean a player can be, and how like dominant they can look. But the chaos that like can thrive in the hands of Creator or RagnaroK or Haas or Mia Micah, Eric, Gumiho as well is a good Terran example for that. It's a lot of fun. As here we go. Once again, RagnaroK able to get his natural base up and running without being disturbed, without being delayed, without being forced to take the unnatural natural. Feels good, man. Overall, a hatch gas pool set up here from our Zurich player. Likewise, Creator, everything is looking normal, nothing too crazy, just going to be a gate expand. Again, the openers should, or the at least initial openers should be pretty standard between our players. It's the follow-up, you know, it's what the tech is going to be. Are we going to see a Twilight Council? Are we going to see a Stargate? Are we going to be seeing a Robo? Creator, he is fond of his Robo openers. He is fond of them. In the meta of double Oracle into +1 Blink Stalker, Creator, he stands against it with everything else. We'll see what we get. I think that's the other really important thing to point out as well, is that neither of these players are like one-trick ponies. Like, they have very kind of deep pockets when it comes to their builds. They have a lot of variety. They have a lot of versatility. Like game 1, we saw RagnaroK going for a 2-base Hydra into an all-in. I don't think we're gonna see that again this series. Like that's like a one and done sort of thing, you know? Likewise, I don't expect Creator to go double Stargate again. This is the first one at a pretty reasonable time. Single Stargate opener. Still normal. Don't worry. This is not... Okay, we're good. I was like, why do we have a Zealot on the way? Never mind. We do have the first Adept zooming across the map just to be a little bit annoying, just to try and delay whatever we can. Third base is being taken by RagnaroK at a pretty reasonable time. A little bit later, it was like a 32 supply third. All good. So doesn't manage to throw it down. He's just looking to saturate his bases and hold on to his workers. Meanwhile, with the Stargate finishing, we are going for an Oracle first. Okay, so Creator's calming down. Things looking normal. This should be an Oracle into a third base. This should be very macro-oriented from Creator. Things are looking far more standard from at least our Protoss. Let's go. And we'll see how many Oracles he commits into. Should be a double, at least 2 Oracles, maybe even 3. There we go, as the third base is about to be taken. Third base is about to be taken. Huh. Never. Okay, so Creator is intentionally going to be killing this Overlord first. He doesn't get his second. Okay, there we go. He just delays his second Oracle. All good. I was like, what's going on here? What are we saving our gas for? I was half expecting a Twilight Council to be thrown down. Not going to lie. Instead, we do have that second Oracle on the way. Do have the third gateway as well. Again, everything's looking normal. It's okay. It's okay. Creator, he's making me paranoid. He's making me like double guess myself, like second guess myself. I'm like, hold on, what's going on, Bobby? What's going on? As RagnaroK is just getting his third base up and running. Queens in position, cutting some corners. There's no Spore here at the third, but the Queens are where they need to be, and they're able to protect said base. Oh, as RagnaroK is going to be going for a Roach Warren. So this is not too standard out of RagnaroK either. So typically against these Oracle openers, your standard Zerg player would throw down an Evo Chamber and work towards +1 melee. Just because +1 melee lings do so well against Blink Stalkers, and +2 is a really big power spike for the Zerg. We're skipping that. We're going for a faster Roach Warren and an Evo Chamber. This is looking like +1 range. This is looking like a really big commitment into Roaches. Not so much Ling Bane. Meanwhile, the follow-up is really weird from Creator as well. I should point this out. This is not standard. So Creator, he goes for a double Oracle Opener into a third base, which is normal. He delays his Twilight. There is no Twilight Council. There is no Twilight Council at all. No Blink, no Charge. He's going straight into a Robo instead. The Twilight Council and Forge have been heavily delayed here for Creator. In favor of that Robo. With it, we can get into faster Immortal production. We can maybe even get into a faster Colossus if we get into a Robotics Bay. And we're working towards a Prism. Okay. Depths are going to be threatening a Shade. These are vanilla Depths, so we have quite a lot of them. So we're just going to be trying to force a reaction. It is still going to be +1 range, +1 melee here from RagnaroK, just a little bit later than is typically expected. There's that Baneliness as well. So Lingbane, Roach, Ravager are going to be the composition for RagnaroK. Meanwhile, we're not working towards Blink. We have Charge on the way instead. We're going straight into a Temple Archive. So Charge.Archon is going to be the composition from Creator. Lings get a decent surround, but the Oracles are here to support the Adepts. And we're going to be able to focus on some of these Roaches. A pretty good trade here from Creator, all things considered. RagnaroK, he wants to try to apply pressure to this third base. Oh, we've been cutting some corners. There are no shield batteries. Uh-oh. But we do have a third Oracle. And RagnaroK, he doesn't like what he sees. He doesn't have enough to break this third base. Creator isn't punished for the lack of shield batteries, as he already had a fourth on the way. Meanwhile, the Overlord dives into the main. We are commencing Immortal production. We have a second Robo on the way. So this is very Creator. We bring this up a lot, but Creator, he's very fond of these like ground-based like death balls of Archons and Immortals. This is very rare in PvZ. Very often do we see like Blink Stalker Colossus into Disruptors, for example, or Charge.Archon into Colossi as well. Going Mass Immortal is very out of meta at the moment, and it's something that I think Creator wants to be getting into. Yeah, there we go. As Immortal production is continuing. Meanwhile, I like that we made one Phoenix just to kill the Overseer. Because we don't have Blink Stalkers, right? Like, we have very limited anti-air, so we invest into one Phoenix. We're going to be denying the scouting information. You love to see it. There it is. Double Immortal production. Let's go. So the kind of theory here is that the Immortals shut down the Roaches, and then you have the Charge.Archon for the Lingbane. Or the Archons for the Lingbane. Again, players like Classic and Hero, they don't play like this at all when it comes to the other Korean Protosses. And Storm is on the horizon as well. Yeah, RagnaroK just trying to poke in wherever he can. He does have a Baneling run by setting up here on the left-hand side. Baneling speed is about to finish up, but Storm not quite ready. Hater, he's got to be careful. That's a lot of Banelings, Papi. Now, it looks like RagnaroK has avoided +2, unfortunately. The reason why +2 is a power spike is that +2 allows these Banelings to one-shot probes. So even like one Baneling can kill a mineral line, essentially. But there is no +2 behind this. We do see RagnaroK going to be forcing a reaction here at a Creator. At the same time, in come those Banelings. Archon is in position. We see Creator trying to react to the force fields are thrown down. The Banelings, they don't get in. That was pretty chaotic. They tried desperately to get into the mineral line, but no, they are stopped. Creator shuts them down at the same time. The Ling Roach army doesn't break in either. These Oracles getting a lot of value. Getting a lot of these Roaches. And yeah, RagnaroK has had a really hard time breaking Creator. Like Creator, this is a very hyper defensive style. He hasn't been active at all. He was active earlier with his Adepts, if you remember, but for the most part, he's like waiting to receive the aggression of RagnaroK. And this RagnaroK, he wants to be aggressive. The Creator, he's just waiting to just absorb these blows, and eventually, as a Prism does sneak out across the map, and hey, Creator, he is being active. He does manage to sneak out a warp in. Shouldn't get too much done. Should be cleaned up. But like after a big fight, if RagnaroK loses too much, he will be triggering Creator and he will force a counterattack. And like depending on how much Creator has left over, how efficiently Creator trades, that would be a really devastating moment for RagnaroK. Gotta be careful. 5th base is on the way. RagnaroK, he's taking up the Hive. Storm, oh, he's gonna be doing a decent amount of damage to those Lings. 5th base has been scattered. RagnaroK immediately rotates over. He wants to try to deny this fresh mining base of Creator. Broodlords are on the way. With that Hive, we're going straight into that Greater Spire. Which I think is a wise choice, considering how passive Creator has been. But I think this tech may just be too late. Creator, he's about to max out. Here we go. The Lings, they come in for a surround, and they do manage to lock down these Immortals. But it's Ling main against Immortal. Would you force a cancel on that 5th base? And we are going to be able to reset the Immortal count, but here come the Archons. Oh my god. 8 Immortals just went down. That was a pretty hefty loss for Creator. We can see him plummet in supply, but we were talking about it. Creator, he was waiting for RagnaroK to potentially overextend, and now he's forcing the counterattack. Now Creator is going to be active, and what do we have at home to defend? We have Ling Bane. A couple of Ravagers are being morphed in. Ling Bane, not ideal against Archons, not ideal against Storm. RagnaroK is in a bit of trouble. Creator pushing on in. The Ravagers aren't done quite yet. The Storm is going to be connecting on said Ling Bane. Oh my god. The army of RagnaroK, it melts. It absolutely melts. We do have a couple of Roaches coming out. It looks like maybe RagnaroK can hold on with the Roaches. Oh, it's going to be close. We have 2 barely alive Immortals in the back line. And they're doing so much damage. Lings are coming in to reinforce. The Immortals do go down, and RagnaroK does hold. Oh boy. And a little bit of a misrally here as well. 1 Immortal gets picked off as well. A good moment here for RagnaroK. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any Corruptors, so he can't really make use of this Greater Spire. What he has is Lings left over. He's looking to deny this 5th base. Oh, 5th base is going to finish, and it is going to go down. At the same time, we do have a drop into the main, but with Roaches to defend, these Archons shouldn't get out of hand. Up. Oh. Creator only saving 1 of those Archons. And he's being starved out a little bit here. Like, Creator, he needs to get another one of these bases up and running. As he continues Immortal production. He's can't stop, won't stop. Double Immortal production all game. Let's go. Building it back up. I do think that Broodlords would like hard counter what Creator has. Like, for the longest time, Creator didn't have Blink. He's been stuck on Archons and Immortals. Like, he doesn't have a good army for Broodlords at all. But RagnaroK, he hasn't had the time, he hasn't had the freedom to actually tech up in that direction or actually make use of his Greater Spire. That was cute. Creator, he saved that Stalker by lifting it up. You love to see it. Bailey's going for a bit of run by here on the left-hand side. They're trying to get into that mineral line. The Stalker, sorry, the Zelts are here to stop them. Up! But they do roll in. Oh, the split. The split, Papi. Only 3 probes go down. Creator, he's clawing his way back in. The supplies are evening up. But we have Corruptors. We're about to have those Broodlords. Now, thankfully for Creator, we're going to have Blink. Like, even though this Blink is insanely late, even though we're getting Blink at 15 or 14 minutes in the game, it is going to be in time for those Broodlords. So he is going to have, like, an answer for them. Not the best answer, but an answer nonetheless. Gonna have a little bit more anti-air at least. So ideally here for Creator, if he takes another really good fight, and if he cleans up the ground army, then the Broodlords will be exposed and he's gonna be able to dive on them. As Creator still hasn't caught wind of those Broodlords. I'm gonna be zoning away Creator. That Broodlord count getting higher and higher. We are up to 8 Broodlords for RagnaroK. And RagnaroK is getting ready to lay siege upon this southern base. Creator, he doesn't know the majority of his army. He's out of position. He's not here. He has one storm, and a pretty good storm is going to connect with those banelings, but they know they get into the mineral line anyway. Do manage to roll on in. Creator just racing here to defend. Fortunately, he just wasn't quite ready for this. Roaches are pushing on forward. Creator is setting up for a surround, actually. He's coming in from behind. He wants to try to trap these Broodlords. And here we go. He blinks on forward. 1, 2 Broodlords go down. He almost gets a third. Yeah, Creator is coming in from behind as well. RagnaroK, he's going to lose everything. He's going to get out of here. Blinding Cloud's going to buy some time, but RagnaroK, he loses his Vipers. He loses his Broodlords. This was a big loss for RagnaroK. Oh, the Vipers! They go down as well as they try to get out, as they try to retreat. That one Phoenix, that one Phoenix we made earlier is going to actually clean this up. At the same time, Creator, he's going for his counterattack. And once again, RagnaroK, he's in a lot of trouble. Threw away too much. That one Phoenix, the one Phoenix that could. Let's go. We have 6 more Broodlords on the way. 7 even here in between the main and the third. Good catch on these Stalkers. RagnaroK could technically hold with that army. He's losing base after base. He's going for the base raid as well. His Lings will not be at home to protect those Broodlords. He's going for a counterattack. We do have recall available. And this is the most important mining base for Creator. He goes for the recall. He gets back home in time to defend. The Storms should clean up all the Lings, or most of them anyway. Never mind. The Lings, they get out of control. They're going to be able to take down this mining base. At the same time, RagnaroK also losing all of his mining bases as well. Both players are hurting. Who's in a better position? Okay, so RagnaroK, let's just have a look at the units tab here instead. We have 7 Broodlords and 2 Infestors. We have the beginnings of Broodlord Infestor, which is a pretty efficient army composition, but he's only got 2 Infestors, and bearing in mind we have a lot of High Templar left over, they can feed back as well, and we don't have that much to support the Broodlords either. We only have 7. We have very little on the ground. I do think that in a head-to-head engagement, I think Creator will still win. I think he still overcomes this. And he holds onto his base. The Nexus survives. I'm shocked. But the Nexus did survive. He transfers his workers over. He has a mining base. RagnaroK doesn't. RagnaroK, he's got half a mining base. He's trying to get another up and running. RagnaroK did come out worse after that base trade. As the hatchery has been spotted by Creator. I love it. He's going to be active with his Overseer, with his Observer, with his Stalkers. Oh, has to be very careful. One Fungal could spell the end for these Stalkers. Has to be very careful, Pop. Very careful. Void Razor. We're going for Sky Toss, kind of. Void Razor on the way. And to be fair, very little shoots up. We have Biles and Fungals, and that's it. Like, if we somehow manage to get the money for a second Stargate and double Void Ray production, that'd be ideal right now for Creator. Meanwhile, RagnaroK is still licking his wounds. He's working towards Neural, a very important upgrade considering how much he's relying on these Infestors. We have 6 more Infestors on the way. RagnaroK's army is becoming much more high quality over time. Like, Neural changes a lot, actually. Like, suddenly, a lot of these Immortals, the Archons as well, they can turn on Creator. So I do think that's a wise choice here for RagnaroK when it comes to how he's trying to complete his army. When you have a low economy like this, like energy-based units are ideal. So once again, You see RagnaroK just forcing his opponent back. Does come across this observer. He actually didn't know it was there, but manages to catch it. You'd love to see it. As we are slowly building up that Void Ray count. More High Templar, more Storm, more feedback. More Archons even. Jesus. How many High Templar? We have 7 High Templar, 4 Creator, 5 Archons. Sorry, 6 Archons, 7 Immortals. His army is still terrifying. Like, he still has a pretty terrifying death ball. I do think at the end of the day, it's going to come down to the positioning and the spellcasters. The Storm, the feedback, the Fungal, the Neurals. Here we go. Raider setting up a surround. He has split up his army. Yeah, he's coming in from behind. RagnaroK has to be careful not to get caught out here. We have a couple of Neurals on these Archons. They are going to be pushing back the army of Creator. Good Biles as well. Oh, but at the same time, these Storms are looking pretty damn good. The Neurals are running out. And we do see Creator. He's coming in from behind. He's getting the surround. He's getting on top of these Broodlords as well. The Void Rays are coming in clutch, and the Infestors, they just can't stand up to this. There's just not enough to protect them. They get a couple of Neurals off, but the Stalkers, they blink on forward. They get on top of the Infestors. There isn't enough Zerg on the ground or in the sky. GG gets called. And Creator takes the series 2-0. GG. Oh my god. GG. Well played. That was stressful. That was pretty back and forth. Again, unfortunately, I do think there was a window where RagnaroK could have made use of that Greater Spire sooner. Remember, he was very quick to tech into Hive and get that Greater Spire. He was just stuck on Lingbane Roach Ravager for a little bit too long. Transition into Broodlords did feel a little bit late from him as well. To be fair, there was a lot of chaos going on, and there was like a base trade going on as well. So, GG, well played. Congratulations to Creator as he qualifies. He does qualify for GSL Season 2. And RagnaroK gets knocked down to the lower bracket. He gets knocked down to the lower qualifying match. He has another chance. He's going to be going up against a very different Protoss player. Not a Korean. I actually wasn't fully aware of this, but the Taiwanese Protoss, Nice, is currently residing in Korea. And Nice was a part of the qualifiers as well, just like how Australia was there, Special, Future, Scarlet. Nice as well as there, representing the foreigners, representing the international scene. And he's going to be going up against RagnaroK.